In case you have bought a Louvre window for extra ventilation, which is highly recommended on a small greenhouse like this with only one roof vent, you want to install the Louvre window in an opening, usually in the back wall, that is unobstructed, like this one. In this case, I have removed all the springs that hold the panels in place on the other side. I lift this up basically and I remove the whole panel for now. And then we have the Louvre window parts, which are the two holders for the little louvers. And you have 5 pieces that are the polycarbonate, and you remove the film again on both sides and you add the little ridges. In order to install the frame of the Louvre window, you take the part with the handle that goes on the right hand side and it has 2 notches. That gets tightened with bolts in this glazing bar. The bolts are sort of T-shaped. They are a little flat on one side. Those are easy to insert at the bottom near the other bolt. You put those in and you will need 2 of those on each side. So you go and start, you hold, bring your bar in, then you're going to have to position those bolts in. Perfect. Okay? And you tighten these loosely so they have some maneuvering space. Push them in all the way from the side. Do so on both sides. I'm not making it too tight to leave some room. I'm doing the same on the other side. Tighten that. It's all very easy, just a little patience. It's not a real big. They sit basically straight on top of the base bar. Just let them rest on the bar. Now the next thing you do is take these louvers and you insert them. So I open on both sides by hand, I open them and I slide these in from the top all the way down to the bottom. And I squeeze these metal parts here on the bottom in a little bit to really hold them in place on both sides. You can squeeze those in. And you do that with all 5 of them. Sometimes you have to put a little pressure on them. Do the next one. After doing this, what we're going to do next is we're going to cut a piece of the back wall window because it's now too long. That rests, so to make it even with the top. I'm going to make it, push that too far, leave that, you can lift that up a little bit. Okay. Like that, hold it all together. Okay. See? Open and close. Perfect. Now you're going to adjust your back panel. You're going to trim it so that it sits, the bottom green frame piece sits straight on top of the sides of the Louvre window. And of course, at this point you do want to just tighten your Louvre window so that it's all firmly in place. Now that it's all assembled, we will do this. Okay. What we can do is we will measure the length from the bottom of the greenhouse frame in the back to the top here. And that is the length that you want to cut off of the greenhouse. Maybe a little less. Okay. When we're trimming the back panel to fit the Louvre window, what we do is we measured it and we need to cut off 18 inches. So I marked it on both sides, 18 inches. Then I'm just taking something straight, a metal piece, this from a shelf that we also have, and I'm going to take a knife and I'm going to try as nicely as I can with this. You can also do this with a table saw, but that will rip it a bit more, or a hacksaw. You just cut this, otherwise with a utility knife. It's best to make sure that it is very sharp. And then if you're not totally through, you can bend it over. That might make it easier. And then you can cut it mid more. And then you put your bar with your little with your bracket. The bracket is now doesn't matter anymore. You can take that out. You put the bar back on. And then you reinstall it above the Louvre window.